Okay, welcome everybody to the Oily Mamas panel. We have three awesome Oily Mamas here today who are going to share their experience with you on how to use essential oils with your children. So I will let them introduce themselves. We'll start with Roseanne.
Hi, everyone. I'm Roseanne with the Oily Masters team, and I've been with Young Living for now 17 plus years, originally started, and I absolutely, obviously, love Young Living. And I started my journey because of one of my children in particular, because he had special needs, and I was looking for some alternative solutions to help him really just in his day-to-day routines, anything that could help just overall, help him live to his fullest potential, basically. And Young Living Essential Oils was one of those key things that I found. But then it expanded, and it really became obvious to me that this was something that was for more than just him, and everyone in the family now enjoys it. And 17 years later, we have a huge collection.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Roseanne. And
You're welcome.
Melissa. Melissa, are you okay to go next?
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
So I've been with Young Living for about a year now, and I started my oily journey, I guess, a long time ago with rescue dogs. So I'm a mom to a 3-year-old and right now to 5 foster dogs. So yeah, I used oils on them for a long time, and then when I found Young Living, I just noticed that they were the best oils I've ever used. And I love them. And that kind of got me started in looking into how I can use them with my little guy. And it's been fantastic.
Awesome. And Lorianne. I think you're on mute. I'll unmute her. Let me see. There.
Sorry, I was muted.
That's okay.
So my name is Lorianne, and I am a member of the Bottle of Bliss team. I have been an oiler for 5 years now, maybe 4 or 5. And it all kind of began. So my cousin is Michelle Leroy, Alyssa's mom, and Alyssa is also my cousin. And so they are the ones that kind of got us oiling. I always knew what Michelle did, or at least like what she would tell us about what she did. I never truly understood the depth of it until my husband decided he was going to do his first Ironman 5 years ago. And I started researching it because he has a lot of, he has asthma, eczema, and a lot of food allergies. And essential oils came up in a lot of my research. And I asked my cousin Michelle, oh, that thing that you do, is that essential oils? She was like, yeah, it is. So I bought a kit, and here we are.
Awesome. That's great. So thank you for being here, guys. I really appreciate it. So we have 10 questions that we're going to ask out to the moms, and each of them will answer a question based on their experience or how they feel about the question. So the very first question is, well, we already kind of answered how did you get started using with essential oils, so that's great. So I'll move on to question 2. If you could only recommend one essential oil to another mom, what oil of choice would it be and why? So no other oil, just one. What would it be?
I can start. I have it here. Peace and calming.
Awesome.
Must have. Is that making that emphasis enough? It's absolutely one of my favorite, and definitely something I went through many bottles throughout Nate's infanthood and still one of our favorites that we have to keep on hand for a lot of different reasons. But what I want to note is this is also fabulous for moms. One of my most fabulous ones to use to keep me calm. So must have peace and calming.
Awesome. I would agree. Great oil, great blend. Any other moms want to chime in? One oil that you would pick if you could only pick one?
Sure. So for me, I thought about this a few times, and I was like, oh, I'm kind of torn um, between frankincense and lavender. So if I had to pick just one, I would probably go with lavender because it is like it just has so many uses and probably a little bit more gentle for little ones than frankincense if you're going to use topically. So I think go with lavender. It's like the must have. It just does it all.
Yeah, totally.
Like your one-stop oil shop.
Yeah, totally. And a lot of blends have lavender in it, and it's kind of that gateway oil. Like once you try lavender, you're kind of like sold. Awesome. And Melissa, did you want to share an oil blend?
Sorry, did you say Melissa?
Yes. Sorry. I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, did you get my answer the first time?
No, I didn't. Sorry.
Oh, I said for me, it's Thieves.
Thieves.
Yeah, and Thieves Cleaner. Because in my crazy life with dogs and toddlers, it just makes me so much happier.
Yes. Awesome. So there you have it. Yeah, that's a great oil. And there you have it. So you've got 3 different moms, 3 completely different oils. So we had Peace and Calming, which is a blend. Thieves is a blend. And then Lorianne mentioned Lavender, which is a single oil. So that's awesome. So our third question is, name 3 oils you believe are a must for a diaper bag or on the go. So new mom is like, what do I pack in my diaper bag? I can only fit 3 oils. What would you recommend for a mom who is traveling on the go with a diaper bag?
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
So for me, it's definitely lavender because I use it on everything. Not just for me to feel happy, but for like anything like cuts and scrapes and make my little guy feel better. And my second one would probably be M-Grain and me.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that one, yeah, it's just for an emergency.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And my third one, again, is Thieves, because when I bring my little guy to preschool or like we're going out somewhere, we're going to play with other kids, I just slap on some Thieves and I feel really confident that we're not going to, yeah.
Yeah, good. That's good. So that was, it was Thieves, M-Grain, and Lavender, right?
For me.
So anyone that's not familiar with the M-Grain blend, it's really great for when you're feeling foggy or you know, your head is feeling overwhelmed. That's a really good oil to use. So good suggestion. Okay, who else would like to recommend Diaper Bag Essentials? 3 of them.
So go ahead, Lorianne.
Oh, okay. So for me, it's been a while since I've had a diaper bag. My youngest is 10. However, we do travel a fair amount. So in my must-have essentials is always a Thieves, because things are gross, and I always have, things are gross. I always have Digize with me in case anyone's stomach is upset or we overate something. And I do toggle sometimes. Lavender I like to have also. It was hard to really pick just 3. Lavender is like our go-to for a little bit of everything, but RC I tend to have a lot. My family's very active. My kids play a lot of sports, and my husband, like I said, does Ironman, and I always have that respiratory relief with us, just in case. So RC, Thieves, and Digize are my emergency kit if I could only take 3 on the go. Yeah.
Awesome. And those are all 3 in the starter kit. So a lot of what the moms are mentioning are in your premium starter kit. So you can see a trend here. All right. And Roseanne, did you want to chime in on the diaper bag?
And it's interesting to note, like there's a diaper bag, literally a diaper bag essentials, and then there's as they get older, Essentials, as Lorianne was mentioning, and definitely they differ. So I would agree, though, Thieves has been a common thing. Like, you don't go anywhere without Thieves, no matter what age. You have that Thieves with you. And I was going to say Digis as well, because that's just, it depends. One, is it just a day trip or a far trip? It doesn't really matter. Digis is something that you want to have. And actually, peppermint is one of my key ones that I keep on hand at all times. Great for mom. I put it on the back of my neck when I need it, but it's also great in the car, for little ones if they don't travel well, to sniff, and easy enough to be able to use that way as well. So peppermint is one of my favorites to have on hand. It's in my purse right now. I don't go anywhere without that.
That's awesome.
That's
I
a
love
good one,
peppermint
too.
too. Yeah, I have that one in my bag right now. It's
And again, all three are from the starter kit. So, I mean, there's a reason those oils were picked, because they are so important every day, everywhere.
absolutely. That's great. Thank you so much, guys. So our fourth question is, now let's take a break from the kids for a moment. What is your favorite oil as a mom? So one of your most favorite, and I know it's hard to pick because there's so many oils, so many blends, but if you can pick one oil as a mom you personally love and tell us why you love it, what oil would that be? We can start with Lorianne.
Sure. So if I'm going to think about my own wellness, both physically and spiritually, I use frankincense a lot. It is my go-to for security, grounding. I use it respiratory as well. We rub it on the lungs. It helps to settle the vibration of the lungs. So we use that as well. I do like to put it on my hands before prayer. Inhale it. I put it on the crown of my head for protection if I'm going to be around people whose energies or beliefs don't sync with mine. So that's my go-to for myself. My family likes it as well, but I would say it's my favorite. It's my absolute favorite. There's just something so comforting, even just smelling it.
That's awesome.
So frankincense gets my vote.
Awesome. And that's one of the oldest essential oils that people know of from biblical times. So awesome. Okay. Melissa, what's your favorite mom oil?
Okay, I also second the frankincense, but my favorite, I think, is progescence. And, I use it for so many different things that's probably not even what it's supposed to be for. But, yeah, really grounding for me. Really helps me just, stay calm and be happy. And, yeah, even so much that my little guy will bring it over to me and start rubbing it on my feet because he knows how much I like it. I put it on almost every day.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty cute. And he goes, "Mommy, do you feel better now?"
Oh, that's so sweet.
It's really cute. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And progescence, for those who don't know, a lot of people use it for feminine support, but it is a really great mood booster. It's super grounding, like Melissa mentioned, and every woman should have it. It's got wild yams in it, and wild yams are excellent for the body. So really great oil to bring up. And Roseanne.
Well, I will have to go with the one that I bring to my massage therapist the most often. So, because it's my favorite one to have her include in my massage, and that's Stress Away. It's just so wonderful. I love the vanilla in it. That's what really just overall, but it's a wonderful blend, and highly recommend it for overall just relaxation, de-stress, and just have a good day on your hands. So great one to have in your purse too.
Awesome. That's great. And that is actually my favorite. So I'm glad somebody brought it up. I was like, who's going to bring up the Stress Away? So we will move on to question. Do you enjoy DIY recipes, or do you prefer to buy an already made product? So this is a question I get a lot from moms. Like, some of them don't have time, nor do they wish to create a DIY recipe. It's just not their thing. And sorry, my fur child is interrupting my Zoom, as per usual. Only when I'm on Zoom, of course. And moms with your kids, I'm sure you know what it's like to be interrupted. So anyway, a lot of moms ask me, do you have pre-made lotion? Do you have pre-made this? Because they just don't have the time. But some moms really love like going inside the kitchen and making their own soap, making their own roll-ons. So I want to ask you guys, what do you prefer, DIY, already made? And if you do prefer either or, which product do you like? So if you like DIY, what's a recipe that you like to make? If you like pre-made, what is a product in Young Living that you enjoy? So we can start with Melissa.
Okay, so I love DIY. I like the pre-made too, like I've got some, but I make my own soap, I make my own face cream, I make my own face serum, I made my own, I don't even know, oh my goodness, deodorant.
Wow.
It's amazing. Yeah, works really well. And my favorite thing for my little guy is bum spray.
Okay.
So, yeah, this was something I discovered like pretty early on, that if I like use this bum spray at the diaper change, that he never ever got a diaper rash.
Wow.
So yeah, I just keep on making it, and
That's
it's
great.
fantastic.
Yeah, actually, that's funny because I knew a mom that used, it's called butt wash. Yeah, and they're very common, but to make a non-toxic one, that's a great idea. So yeah, it's nice for diaper changes. That's great.
And that's my advice to like every new mom I meet. I'm like, okay, just make some bum wash and everything will be good, at least down there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. Awesome. And Roseanne.
I am the ready-made kind of mom, if I can be these days. I want to do the DIY. I really do. And I do every now and then. So I have some things, like I've made hair creams for myself, and I've run out now. And I'm like, oh, wait, you showed me that Mira, is it? That new, and I'm like, oh, they've made something for me. Okay, I don't have to make it anymore. Yay! So as soon as there's a ready-made product, I'll make it. If they don't have something ready-made and I want to have, a harsh chemical-free product using essential oils, but if they've made the product for me, thank you, Young Living, I'm buying it. So I buy their deodorants. I bought all of the Seedlings line. I don't have babies anymore, but I love their Seedlings line. I use their wet wipes. Everyone enjoys the wet wipes here. I have the linen spray. I spray our beds with the lovely, lavender scent. It's ready-made. I can make my own sprays, but I just find I don't have the time. So instead, and I do usually, the one thing I do take time to do is make my custom rollerball blends. But, they have their own too, and I buy their rollerballs as well, just because it's so much easier. And I love having the ease of it. So a little bit of both, but mainly if Young Living makes it, I'm buying it. That's just the ease of not having to think out the right formula. They've already done it all. They're the experts. Let's go with that.
That's awesome. And I'm sure a lot of moms will be happy to hear that, because we are in the age of DIY. Like, I love both. I've recently gone more DIY for myself, but I've had moms say, it's so much pressure to make your own stuff. I just don't have the time. Whereas I know moms with like 6 kids, and it's like DIY Sunday. Everyone's getting a bath bomb made. So everyone's so different. So thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. And Lorianne, what's your take on the DIY and the ready-made?
So I'm kind of with Roseanne on this. When I first started oiling 5 years ago, I was all about the DIY. Everybody had a rollerball. Everybody had a bath wash. Everybody had a face cream. Everybody. And 5 years later, I'm just, we're trying to survive each day. And if Young Living has one that I can just put it in my ER and have it shipped to my door, I'm in it to win it. And I'm okay with it. Having said that, one thing that I like about it, like I did do a lot of DIY when we first started oiling. You know, it's exciting. You've got all these new oils. You want to try and use them. And you want to try to reduce using store-bought items. But you have a peace of mind and a comfort with the stuff that you buy from Young Living, because although it is store-bought and it is pre-made, the ingredients are pure and you don't have to worry with what's in it. You don't have to read the labels. The most I read a label for with Young Living is, does it have almonds in it, because my family has a nut allergy. But I'd rather look for that than to try to, you know, see if it has a chemical with like 17 letters in it and something I can't even pronounce before they put that on their skin. So for me, I'm a big fan of what they already have. I do enjoy all the things that Alyssa posts on the DIY, and I save them. I haven't made them. It's kind of like my recipe folder. I have tons of recipes on Pinterest that I'm going to make, and I've never made any of them. So, but I'm a big fan of both. I like it. I have recently started using the seedling diaper rash cream. Even though we don't have babies, my husband has really, really dry skin. I do typically make his, especially for, it's on his hands specifically from training, holding his handlebars on his bike in the chlorine in the swimming pool. Winter time here really affects it. So we have started using that only because I didn't make any. And I thought, oh, heck, let me just give this a whirl. So we've been using that lately, and it's pretty cool. Although he did say he would prefer mine, but I don't know if that's true or just brownie points. I don't know.
That's so funny. Yeah, and you know, making moisturizer, I mean, when people ask for moisturizer, I usually tell them Seedlings or the Art Skincare, because moisturizer is like a whole process. And it can be, you know, I only imagine with little ones, it would be a lot of work to just get in those. And then if you're out, then what do you do? So having both is good, but definitely for any moms that are watching that are, you know, looking to budget themselves, DIY can be a huge money saver. So that's what I have found.
I wanted to add to that too, Alyssa,
Yeah.
because like my face cream would probably cost $1,000 if I was to buy it, but I don't, like, it cost me nothing to make it, but it's got like all the greatest possible things in it for your skin that other companies are like, oh, we kind of once looked at frankincense and now you pay an extra $100, and mine's got like the purest frankincense in it. Like,
Yeah, totally. Great.
Yeah, and just to add to that too, my little one is 10 and cannot use, she has the super sensitive skin, and she makes her own face washes because it really breaks her heart that she can't use what her friends are using. So I keep telling her, well, get your friends to use what you're using. So she makes her own, and it's great because, I mean, for a 10-year-old, I love the ART program, skincare line from Young Living, and I love the Orange Blossom Face Wash. My 21-year-old uses that. It's just a little bit rich for the blood for a 10-year-old who's gonna, you know, use a little too much each serving, or so we do. She does make her own, and it is a lot more cost effective because than if I was to buy those ones for her. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, and with the Orange Blossom too, you can dilute that as well, because I know kids use a lot more than they should. So for any moms watching, if you want to try the Orange Blossom, you can actually take just a tablespoon, fill it with water in a pumping bottle, and then you have a face wash. And that way they're not using your $50 like fully concentrated Orange Blossom face wash. So awesome, awesome. Okay, so we are already down to question 6. So what does a day in your household look like with essential oils? So if anyone wants to share just tidbits of your day, morning, night, afternoon, whatever you'd like to share. We can start with Roseanne. Do you want to start?
Sure. Everybody has their own things going on and different reasons to use the oils in the house, and everybody they are using the oils. So for my son Johan, who has special needs, I have specific blends that I make for him that kind of take him from morning until the evening, and I've made, those are the custom rollerball blends that I have made. Those are my DIY. So I put my time into those kind of things. And then basically for him, he's got all of the supplements as well. So his day is looking like essential enzymes. He's got the sulfurzyme. He's got the Super C and the master formula. So he's got all those going, and Life 9 later on. So he's got a bunch of those things all the way. And then at the nighttime, I have things that help to soothe and ease his skin, because he wears a special brace to keep his spine a little straighter, and that causes some abrasions. So we've got special blends that I've made up for that as well. And I actually have used the Seedlings lotion for him as well for his back. I find that, again, it was like, oh, something that is ready-made that I can use to help him. And then for my little one who's 6, he goes in and out. He doesn't have a routine per se. It's whatever he needs. Valor used to be a big one that he was using a lot of, and Peace and Calming. Those were probably his 2 top oils that he used every day for a while there. Now he doesn't need them quite as often. It was to help support different changes and challenges that he was going through. And then pretty much daily I have diffusing Thieves essential oil, or depending on the season, we have different oils that we have diffusing throughout the house. And I have 3 floors. I have a different diffuser on each floor. And then we've got the Ninja Red, which Nate and myself and Johan and my husband, we all enjoy having first thing in the morning. So kind of a little bit of everything all throughout. And then we've got all of our personal care products in the bathroom. So shower time means all the different wonderful products that are ready-made. Yay. So that's kind of it is throughout my house. I wanted to actually do a video of, look at where it is. It's here, it's here, it's here. And that is, you were going to ask for a tip or a hack later, so I'll wait, but that's part of one of my tips and hacks. So I'll leave it at that.
Awesome. So lots of oiling going on in your house and lots of supplements, which is great. Lorianne, did you want to share?
Sure. So similar to that of Roseanne, everybody kind of is on their own oily plan, let's call it. But as a household, we're always diffusing. So the morning starts out usually with something citrus, maybe something pepperminty, Thieves as soon as someone's sniffling or isn't feeling right. My husband and I both use the full supplement line, Master Formula. Super B, he uses Super B more than I do. He's more regular with it. I sometimes forget he's vegan, so he requires those extra B vitamins. So he is a big fan of that. And Ninja Red is popular in our household. And the sachets we keep, Kenny has it in his travel bag, his gym bag. It's actually in his boardroom fridge too. He has implemented some of the stuff into his one of his centers. So yeah, everybody kind of does their own thing. My older one, she's 21. She uses tea tree oil a lot. I know that's one of her dailies for her own skincare routine. The little one, we just recently got Kid Sense when they came to Canada. So I've put roller balls on each one. So now she just uses them as she needs them. Even in my shop, so in my own shop, I have a diffuser that runs all day long. I typically use a citrus, something just welcoming and fresh for my customers. Something I try to keep it fairly neutral. We also host indoor cycling classes in my store. So after training, I clean down all the equipment with Thieves Cleaner and then diffuse citrus just to kind of get the sweaty funk out. And the hand soap is in all of our bathrooms, even in my shop. And it's really funny because when I first brought Young Living into my store, my 4 mechanics immediately had headaches and they didn't feel good from, lemon oil. And I was like, really, dudes? the lemon is offending you, not the brake cleaners, not the other harsh chemicals. But it was just, that way. It was something new and they pushed back. And now every single one of them fills the diffuser. After it's a routine. Actually, one of them actually has purchased a diffuser now for their own home. And it's in all of our bathrooms. And the cleaner we clean our entire shop with. So that was a pretty big breakthrough for me, was to get these guys just open to trying something different, and just like small changes. So I said to them, there's no such thing as sick days here, because I know you all use thieves all day, every day.
Yeah.
So you can't call in sick, because I know that you're not. So
Awesome.
it's like a running joke that we have here. But yeah, that's pretty much us. Nighttime, we tend to do lemon peppermint when the girls are doing homework for retention, helping them to retain information. We usually have lavender going on the main floor diffuser that just kind of, and throughout the whole main floor, just to kind of make things nice and peaceful and calming before bedtime. And yeah, that's pretty much our day.
Awesome. I like that you shared the mechanic story, because I'm sure there's a lot of women that are watching that have husbands or brothers or men in their life who just are offended by the oils, and then over time they become an oily lover. So if you're a mom watching and your husband is giving you a hard time, or your boyfriend or your partner is giving you a hard time, no fear. The oils work their magic over time. So awesome. And Melissa, did you want to share your day?
Yeah, sure. So what I'm diffusing every day kind of changes. Even in our bedroom at night, I change it. Like I mix it up from lavender to cedarwood, or stress away, or even M-grain. Sometimes depends on the day. But yeah, the one thing that I do every single day is bedtime in my little guy's room is Gentle Baby. Even though he's 3, it's the greatest thing ever, and he's got his own little dino diffuser and he loves it. Like he'll tell me if I forget to put it on. But yeah, another thing that I do every single day is purification. So I think I mentioned 5 dogs. There's also 4 cats and a toddler. So yeah, purification is my savior. And I hated the smell at the beginning, but I now spray it in the diaper pail and I spray it in the litter box. And if I'm cooking something, I diffuse it in the house, or if I just, like I'm pregnant right now, so I'm pretty much diffusing it every day because I don't want to smell anything. So that, or dye dyes. I diffuse a lot of dye dyes just to exist right now. So yeah, and thieves. Yeah, so I'm putting thieves on my little guy's feet pretty much every day when he's going to preschool.
That's great. That's awesome. So Melissa is a foster. So she fosters animals. That's why she has so many. and so if you are a mom with lots of pets and you're worried about your house purification, because I've been to Melissa's house and I can't tell that dogs live there. Like truly and honestly, you wouldn't know until you see all of them. And then you're like, oh, there's dogs here. So yeah, definitely whatever you're doing, it's awesome. So thanks for sharing that. Okay, so we will move on. So I believe we have, do you have a hack or cool tip? So just for the sake of time, maybe we have about 4 questions left, so we'll do 1 hack. Does anyone want to share a hack? I think Roseanne, you said?
I just said it's not so much a hack as a tip, because that really changed things for me. Because when you first get oils, and I'm talking years and years ago, I kept them in a container, put them in the bathroom cupboard and had them there, and I would sometimes forget that I even had them because they weren't there in front of me. So what I often share with people when they're first starting is, please keep them where you will use them. If you're using an oil for your bedtime routine, keep it in the bedroom, like keep it there. If you're having things for the morning routine, keep it where you are, in the kitchen or in the bathroom, whatever it applies to, in your purse, in your car, wherever it's going to actually be used. Because the worst part of, that feeling is like, something happens and I don't have the oil. right? Because I've tucked it away or I kept it nicely in that display box and put it on the shelf. Take the oils out, put them where you can use them and see them to remember, especially when you're first getting into the routine of using oils and changing your habits. So that's more, not so much a hack, but just being able to use the oils.
Yeah, a great tip. Awesome. Because I've had moms say, well, I don't want to buy the kit because I may not use it. And so you have to see them. That's very, very true. So keeping them where you can see them and access them, that's great. And if you are watching and you've just purchased a kit, you have your 2 mils in your kit, those little bottles. You can pop a couple drops in there and leave it in the bathroom, leave it in your purse. That way you have oils all the time and then there's no excuse not to use them. So great tip. So I will move on to the next question. What has been your biggest breakthrough with essential oils? So I'll take a mum for that one. Lorianne, did you want to share for that one? Biggest breakthrough with oils?
Sorry, my shop is still open, so
Oh,
can you repeat the question? I'm really sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. So the question is, what has been your biggest breakthrough with essential oils, like your biggest wow moment?
Oh, I have to think, because I have to think how to make it compliant. So I would say the biggest wow for me is the comfort that it brings to people. So I take communion to people who are housebound and are unable to come to mass. And a lot of the time, and I wear oils, so they'll ask about it, they'll smell it. In times I've actually used my frankincense oil on people and lavender towards their end of life. And it's really amazing to see the comfort and joy in vulnerable times, how the effect that it has on them, and for my own self as the person with it. I would say that has been a really big wow moment for me, and in my own family. I've seen the benefits of it mentally, physically, and spiritually. The joy that comes from that. And one little tip when we were doing the tips, one thing that I would say is, one thing that I learned along the way was to simplify. Keep it simple. So you start with your starter kit. You've already got 11 oils. Get your feet wet. Start to use them. There's so much greatness right in that starter kit that I know we get excited and we want to keep adding to the collection, but get your feet wet and keep it simple, because there's so much that you can do with that arsenal for just your day-to-day living, the comfort that it can bring, the joy that it can bring. I'm not going to say that, I mean, I know that it's life-changing, and I hope that people find that for themselves, and whatever that means for you. Even simple things as my kids stayed a little bit more focused while they did homework, or I was able to run a little further because I could breathe a little bit better, or my skin is less dry, or I just feel better. I feel better. And when you feel better, you do better. You're motivated. And especially here in Ontario in these winter months, it's really hard to stay motivated. And in that starter kit, you have a great arsenal to get you up, get you motivated, get you active, just living your best life, your best oily life. So
That's great. Thank you for sharing that. So our second last question is for moms. If a mom told you she's thinking of trying Young Living oils, but she's nervous, doesn't know where to start, what quick advice would you give her? A nervous mom, she doesn't know where to start. And I'm sure lots of you have gotten those questions. So anyone who'd like to start?
I'm happy to start. I think I would take it back to keep it simple. I mean, especially for a new mom, everything is daunting. Everything is scary. These kids, they don't come with an owner's manual. And one of the great things that I like to tell people is the community of Young Living. And it's not even just about the product. It is the research behind it. It's the knowledge behind it. It's a sense of community, and that there's always somebody, whether it be someone in your direct upline or somebody across the board on your team, has maybe already been through that circumstance. There's so much good information available to you. I encourage people to do as much research just as you would anything else for your kids. I do also, remind people as much as there's a lot of good information on the internet, there's also, the potential for some bad information. So, know your sources, and know your product. And that's one thing that Young Living does, is they know their product because nobody interferes with it. They do the entire process start to finish. So they know the intricate ins and outs of their business because they're the only ones that handle it. There's no middleman, there's no outside sources. So for me as a mom, that's comforting. It's like they do the research and the legwork for me. So yeah. I would say keep it simple and do your research.
Awesome. Great advice. Anyone else? Melissa, did you want to chime in?
I didn't really have a great answer for this.
That's okay.
Yeah, I think jump in and get your feet wet, and don't be afraid to ask other people, or for me, it's just looking up stuff online and getting ideas of what other people are doing, in all kinds of different places. And that's really helped me with things even just wanting to try DIYs. It took me probably 6 months to try my first DIY, and I think it was a bug spray. And I loved it so much. I was like, oh my gosh, what are other people doing? What else can I do? Because I was so about buying things and trying to find a good price for a healthy, safe product. And when I kind of stumbled into DIYs, it was pretty life-changing for me. So yeah.
Awesome. And that's a really good point. I know a lot of moms say they spend so much time in the aisles of stores reading labels for nut allergies, gluten, this chemical, and you can't really know. So that's a really good tip. When you make it yourself, you know exactly what's going into it. So great advice. And Roseanne, what would you tell a nervous mama?
The main thing that I always tell nervous moms is, one of their main questions to me all the time is, well, how, safety, right? This is the big concern thing. And I'm always, start slow, start on the bottom of the feet, put those socks back on the baby's feet. If you're using oils with babies, dilute. There are some great guidelines. Get a good resource book for using it with your little ones and follow those guidelines. There's some they're really basic safety guidelines to do. And if you're using those things, like keeping it on the bottom of the feet, diluting, testing, you're going to be fine. And one of the easiest ways to share the essential oils with everybody in the family is a diffuser. So start there if you're nervous, because that is, just put a drop in. If you're, afraid of doing too much, then start and increase little by little and get everybody used to it. So, don't necessarily, I like Lorianne's, keep it simple. Go slow, but start, keep it where you can and add up and build up from there.
Awesome. Really great advice. I love that. All of you shared really good tips. And our final question is, can be oil related or not, but I just love moms empowering other moms, because it's really hard to be a mom out there. I'm not a mom, but I work with a lot of them, and I just hear so much negative self-talk and worry. So it's always nice when women empower other women and moms empower other moms. So just one empowering message that you want to share with the moms that are watching this, any mommy tip or empowering thing you want to say. So we could start with Lorianne, if you're okay to start.
Sure. For me, I would say the biggest thing is you have to make time for you. And self-care starts with you. You cannot mom, you cannot wife, you cannot aunt, you cannot sister, you cannot do all the things if you aren't taking care of yourself. You cannot look after everything. I mean, you can superficially, but eventually that runs out. So for me, it's make the time for yourself, whether that's 30 minutes to meditate or sit in silence, read a book, drink a cup of tea while it's hot, get up and move. Move 30 minutes a day. I highly encourage it. Great things happen when you move your body. Great things happen when you put yourself first. You put yourself first and everything else falls into place. And that may sound, daunting or selfish, and it's not. Your family will thank you. You can love better when you love yourself. So that's what I would say. Love yourself.
Awesome.
Your family will thank you for it.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that. Melissa.
So my best tip, I guess, is just to believe that whatever you are doing is the right thing. Just have confidence in yourself and go with that. And I really think that that's the best thing all around, like with your kids. Just be confident in your choices and go.
Awesome. And Roseanne?
Well, I have to, I'm going to echo probably both of what's already been said, but, I'm a special needs mom as well on top of things. And people may have heard me reiterate that same message in the past, is that, we tend to give a lot to our children, and we get forgotten in that whole thing. And we're doing the forgetting. It's not necessarily other people, but we're forgetting to take care of ourselves. So as Lorianne was mentioning, you got to put that effort in. And as I mentioned at the beginning, I got involved with Young Living because of my son. But over time, that switched. And a lot of what I do with Young Living now, a lot of the products I get are for me. They are for him. He's got a ton, but I got a lot of great things going for me because I need to have, I love my stress away. I love my skincare products, my hair care products, things that make me feel good and allow me to be a better mom for everybody in my family, better wife, as we all want to be the best we can be. And treat yourself. Give yourself those spa days and those whatever you need. I went to the massage therapist, and she loves it when I come because I bring stress away and she gets to benefit. So we're all helping each other. And be that living diffuser and wear those oils out there and spread the good sense everywhere. So
Awesome.
That's about it.
That's great. So I want to thank all the moms for being on. They are all a part of Young Living, so give them a shout out in the comment section. You can reach out to them if you like their story or anything they had to share, and enjoy the rest of the rally. And thank you for watching.